Hi everybody, I wanted to pop on and do a quick, I promise I'll try and do a really quick, I know I'm not very good at doing quick vlog on menopause and hormonal depression. So I don't quite understand the biology and the medical stuff that's going on behind the scenes in terms of the hormonal depression. It's something that's on my list to discuss with my consultant when I see him in a couple of months. But I do really know how it feels, and I definitely get it. And what happens for me with hormonal depression is it's like waves that come crashing in, and it doesn't last terribly long, but it's very acute when it comes. Now, I have had what I would perhaps refer to as mainstream depression before, and it's much more, there's much more of a rhythm to it, and it's much more steady and stable. You just feel, I just felt very down and sad and demotivated and disengaged with life for a constant period of time, and quite a significant period of time. And just to give the context, that was actually a few years ago, and I did take antidepressants at that point. It was after the birth of my third child. It was diagnosed as postnatal depression, and antidepressants were extremely helpful to get me back on my feet. However, what I have noticed with the menopause is the hormonal depression is very different. It feels very different. It's much more acute, and I wanted to share some of the symptoms and stuff that happens because it happened to me. I had a really significant day of hormonal depression yesterday. Now, on the run-up to me getting a period of hormonal depression, I am excruciatingly tired, and that tiredness isn't just about a physical tiredness, it's a mental tiredness as well. I can't be bothered. I'm completely disengaged with life. I'm not interested in doing anything. So this last week, for example, I don't think I've actually cooked one proper meal one night. Either the kids have, don't worry, my kids are teenagers, have made dinner, or I've done something really easy that I've just whacked in the oven. And that's not like me, because I actually really like to cook normally. And I've been really tired. I've been sleeping in, I haven't been waking early. This is out of character for me, and just generally really demotivated. And then yesterday I started feeling so sad, so really sad. Self-esteem is really at a rock bottom. The questions in my mind of what value am I, a lot of, I mean, you might want to call it self-pity, who knows. I don't think there's anything wrong with giving ourselves a little bit of a self-pity party, as long as we don't stay in it for too long, right? Because I think there is something really important to admit how we genuinely feel about something and explore that, and I think that allows it to flow. So yesterday it came, and it was like a tsunami. I could not stop crying. There's nothing I could do. The tears are just flowing. I feel so desperately sad, so disappointed in myself. So my self-esteem's at rock bottom. Really, there's a real heaviness of grief. And do you know what? I just sat with it yesterday, because I'm now getting used to it, so I know when it's coming. And obviously I upped my estrogen, because the thing that really drives the whole, sorry, I'm just keeping an eye on time because I'm meant to be somewhere. The thing that drives my hormonal depression is when my estrogen plummets. So I did, a couple of days ago actually, I started putting extra estrogen on, because I was feeling so tired, and I knew it was my estrogen tiredness, because I was very demotivated, and I was very the self-esteem was dropping, and I was demotivated. It wasn't just physical tiredness, so I knew it was the estrogen. The hormonal depression yesterday was a day of grief, of sadness, of just crying. I cried so much, it's untrue. Actually, I'm a soul midwife, so I support people with who are at end of life. That's what I do. Midwife brings a soul into a world. Soul midwife helps a soul exit this world. It's emotional and psychological support. And in soul midwifery, we learn about 4 elements: earth, water, fire, and air. Now, in our everyday life, we're constantly going through that cycle. End of life, each one of those elements is withdrawing as we near the end of the chapter in this world. So what I would have said yesterday is I was oscillating all day between fire and water. So I was either raging or I was sobbing, and I couldn't stop the tears. Now, I also know, without a shadow of a doubt, I said to myself yesterday, this is hormonal depression, and just knowing it was that really helps. It really helps, because it gives me some framework, something to hang on to, because I know it will pass. I absolutely know without a shadow of a doubt it will pass. And I did think yesterday, oh my goodness, can I be brave enough to do a vlog in the moment? And do you know what? I couldn't. I was really struggling. And look how fast it's passed, because today is a new day. But I knew yesterday, I thought, oh, in a day, 2 or 3 days, I'm going to have a bleed. I don't really have periods anymore, but I do have very small and odd bleeds, just randomly, always after an estrogen drop and hormonal depression. And this morning, guess what? I had a slight bleed. So, and that actually signals to me that I'm getting over the hump. So the thing is, with not having periods, you don't really know where you are on the cycle. So you can't go, oh, you know, I'm premenstrual, I'm this, I'm that. So I wanted to share this because I think it's really interesting. And I think when I am in the depths of hormonal depression, it can feel really, really debilitating. Can make me feel really worthless and of no value, and terribly sad and overwhelmed and just out of kilter. And the reason I'm sharing it is because I am learning to understand my body. I'm learning to understand that my body's actually screaming for some more estrogen. And I'm also learning to comfort myself with the fact that I know it will pass, and I just have to be kind with myself until it does. I will end now, and I really hope that's of help. Lots of love.